Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something really fundamental. This growing sense of unease, maybe anxiety that so many people feel. It seems like our mental well-being is under strain in this, complex modern world. It often feels unnatural somehow.
It really does. And it brings us right back to the brain, actually, because everything you perceive, what you see, hear, even these words right now, it's all processed and interpreted by your brain.
Right.
Specialized cells turn stimuli like sunlight or, I don't know, a kiss into electrical signals.
So, okay, our brain is basically constructing our reality from these signals.
Exactly.
Which means how we feel, how we react. It all depends on which parts of the brain are, let's say, most active or trained.
Precisely. It depends on those specific neural networks. And that leads to the big question, really. If we can change those networks, change how our brain interprets things, does that change how we feel?
And the answer is?
A definite yes. And that's basically our mission for this deep dive. We want to explore how we can actually change those brain areas, those interpretations to improve our mental state.
And we're focusing on one tool in particular. Meditation.
A very powerful tool, yes. Often misunderstood, but powerful.
Right. So this idea of brain training, let's unpack that. You mentioned it's like an athlete training, like Roger Federer.
Yeah, it's a great analogy, I think. Federer trains specific brain areas for his serve coordination, muscle memory, prediction. Our brains work similarly. Certain areas define how we interpret things, what we focus on. And the key thing is, these areas are trainable.
Okay, trainable. But why do they need training in the first place? What's gone wrong, so to speak?
Well, to understand that, we kind of need to look back, way back. Think about an ancestor maybe 15,000 years ago gathering berries.
Okay.
Suddenly, they hear a noise in the bushes. The brain has a quick choice. Wind or predator?
High-stakes decision.
Very high.
Yeah.
Assume it's wind when it's a predator.
Game over.
Exactly. Assume it's a predator when it's just wind. You maybe lose some berries, get a bit jumpy, but you survive.
So the brain learned to assume the worst, the false positive.
Precisely. It's the safer bet for survival, even if it wasn't the most probable outcome most of the time. Better safe than sorry, quite literally.
And that ancient wiring?
Yeah.
It's still running the show today.
Largely, yes. That's the modern dilemma. Our brains still often default to imagining the worst-case scenario, exaggerating risks.
That unexpected email, the bump in the night.
Your brain flags it as potential danger, theoretically, to protect you. But the predators today are rarely life-threatening the same way.
So this survival mechanism is now causing anxiety, stress.
It can, absolutely. That wiring was brilliant for primitive survival, but it's often counterproductive now. Our peace, our happiness really depends on retraining those processes.
And meditation is the way to do that retraining.
It's a key way, yes. And it's not just for naturally anxious people. Everyone can benefit from training their perception like this.
Now, meditation. Lots of people think, monks and mountains. But you're saying it's more practical.
Much more. Forget the New Age stereotype for a moment. Think of it as a science-backed brain training tool.
Okay. So what's the actual goal then, scientifically speaking?
Well, pretty much all forms of meditation aim for the same thing. Reducing that excess mental chatter.
Quieting the noise.
Exactly. Guiding the brain towards slower, more coordinated, less chaotic functioning. This directly reduces stress, that feeling of being on edge. It calms the fight-or-flight system.
That makes intuitive sense. But is there, measurable proof? Can we see this change in the brain?
Oh, absolutely. We can look at brainwaves. It's fascinating, actually. Experienced meditators show significantly more alpha wave activity. These waves are linked to relaxed alertness, efficiency, and less sympathetic nervous system activity.
So less stress, less anxiety.
And tangible health benefits, too, like lower blood pressure, better heart rate regulation.
And non-meditators.
They tend to have more beta wave activity. That's the signature of a busy, active, sometimes racing mind. It correlates with more stress, more anxiety, and often poor sleep.
So the science is pretty clear then. Meditate.
Basically, yes. The evidence points towards it being beneficial for shifting brain patterns away from chronic stress.
Right. And how do most techniques actually work? You mentioned focusing on something external.
That's a very common approach, yeah. The idea is to give your attention something specific to focus on, like a word, a mantra, or very often your breath.
Why the breath?
Because it's always there, it's rhythmic, and focusing on the physical sensation pulls your attention away from that internal dialogue, that endless stream of thoughts.
Okay, so if someone wants to try this,
Yeah.
what are the practical first steps? How do you set yourself up?
Good question. First, Posture. Sit comfortably. Your head shouldn't be slumped. Spine fairly straight but relaxed, not stiff.
Does it have to be cross-legged on the floor?
Not at all, unless that's comfortable for you. A chair is perfectly fine. The main thing is being stable and helping your breathing, plus staying awake.
Okay. And the environment?
Try to minimize distractions. Close your eyes. Find somewhere quiet if you can. Avoid loud noises or strong smells. Some people like calm music, but silence is often best to start.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then the mental technique. You mentioned focusing on the breath in a specific way.
Yes, there's a neat technique. It sounds a bit paradoxical. You try to hear your breath,
Okay.
but at the same time, you try to breathe so calmly, so gently that you can't actually hear it.
Huh. How does that work?
It forces your attention right to the subtle edge of sensation. It naturally calms your breathing pattern, and because your focus is there, it quiets the internal mental chatter. Your mind will wander, by the way.
Oh, definitely.
That's totally normal, especially at first. The practice is just gently, without judgment, bringing your attention back to that subtle breath again and again.
It's like a little mental trick to get out of your head.
Yeah.
How do you know if it's, well, working? What should you feel?
You'll likely notice changes pretty quickly. Physically, your muscles might feel a bit softer, more relaxed. Your breathing rate will naturally slow down. Your heart rate usually drops too.
Could you measure that, like with a fitness tracker?
You could, yeah. Use an oximeter or watch, see the heart rate decrease. It's a fun self-experiment. But honestly, most people just feel a sense of calm starting to spread. It's quite perceivable.
And the million-dollar question, how long? Do I need an hour?
Absolutely not to start. This is crucial. While maybe 20 minutes is common for experienced folks, I always suggest beginners start with just 5 minutes.
Only 5.
Only 5. The key is consistency. Build the habit. Make it feel easy, not like another chore on your list. 5 minutes every day is far better than an hour once a week, especially for forming the neural pathways.
5 minutes. Okay, that feels achievable. Now,
Yeah.
you mentioned another method linked to Matthew Ricard, The Happiest Man.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yes, and I find it incredibly powerful, perhaps even more effective long-term for shifting your baseline happiness. It goes beyond just focusing the mind.
How so?
Yeah.
What's wrong with, say, writing down things you're grateful for? People suggest that all the time.
It's not wrong, but often it lacks intensity for the brain. It can become a bit of a mechanical list, a purely cognitive exercise. It doesn't always sink in emotionally.
Okay, so this method isn't just thinking about gratitude.
No, it's about experiencing it. You actively relive a past memory where you felt overwhelming gratitude.
Like what kind of memory?
A really significant one, the birth of your child maybe, the moment you met your partner, overcoming a major illness or obstacle, even a small moment of profound connection or kindness that just hit you.
And you don't just remember it.
You relive it. That's the key difference. You don't just visualize the scene like watching a movie.
Right.
You actively try to feel the emotions you felt then. Recreate the joy, the relief, the warmth, the deep sense of thankfulness. Let those feelings wash over you now.
Wow. So you're essentially generating those positive feelings in the present moment using a memory.
Exactly. And here's the really cool part about the brain. It doesn't clearly distinguish between something intensely felt happening now externally and something intensely felt being relived internally from memory.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It treats the vividly remembered feeling as real time.
Pretty much, yes. The emotional and physiological response can be incredibly similar. It interprets those relived sensations as if they're happening right now.
That's kind of incredible.
It really is. And by doing this repeatedly, say for those 5 minutes a day, you're not just having a nice 5 minutes. You are actively strengthening the brain circuits related to gratitude.
So it changes your brain structure.
Effectively, yes. You're building up those neural networks. And the result is that this feeling, this capacity for gratitude, starts to permeate your entire life, not just the practice time. You become more attuned to it naturally.
Okay, let's just recap this deep dive then. We've seen our brains actively build our reality. We've understood that old survival wiring can sometimes misfire in modern life,
Right.
causing anxiety.
Right, that false positive bias.
But the really hopeful part is that our brains are trainable. We're not stuck.
Not at all. They're incredibly plastic.
And meditation, whether it's breath focus or this deeper gratitude practice, is a direct way to do that training, to actually reshape our emotional state.
It really underscores that happiness and calm aren't just things that happen to us based on luck or circumstances. They are skills.
Trainable skills.
Exactly. Skills you can cultivate with intentional practice, giving you real agency over your inner experience.
Which leaves us with a really powerful thought to ponder, doesn't it?
Hmm.
If your brain has trouble telling the difference between a vividly felt memory and something happening right now, what kind of power does that actually give you?
Yeah.
I mean, what could happen if you deliberately spent just 5 minutes each day feeling deep gratitude, really immersing yourself in it, knowing your brain is processing it as present moment reality?
Hmm.
What could that genuinely change for you, regardless of what's going on outside?